This is lesson 25, and today we're doing another analysis, okay? This time I gave you an actual piano piece by Beethoven, Echo Sace. Let's talk through it. So the first page is all questions. The second page is actually just the piece. There are a couple things that I've circled, so just watch out for those. So the very first question, what key is this piece in? Look at the key signature and write the key there. What's the time signature? This should be easy for you guys. Tempo marking. What instrument is this piece written for? I actually just answered that question for you. What is the form? So is it ternary form or binary form? That's what I'm looking for. So if you need to look back at past the last two worksheets where we talk about ternary and binary form, look at those and then figure out what Echo Sace is. I'm looking for either ternary or binary there. You could also write in there, if you didn't write ternary or binary, you could write, for binary, you can write AABB. For ternary, it's going to be AABBA. That A theme has to come back at the end for ternary. So if you want to write the order of the themes, that's fine with me too. But I either need to see ternary or binary or the letters, the theme letters and the order. Okay, next, what note, the A theme begins in what measure? And then it ends in what measure? So show me, I want to see what you think is the A theme. Then what is the B theme? It begins in what measure and it ends in what measure? What note is tonic in this key? What note is dominant? Okay, several of you on your worksheets are forgetting that dominant means the fifth note of the scale, okay? Some of you are saying, like, if we're in the, I'm not going to give you the actual key. If we're in the key of D, okay, you're going, oh, so the fifth note of the scale is D, E, F sharp, G, A, B. Oh, it's B. No, D is the first note of the scale, so you have to count D as one. So it's D, E, F sharp, G, A, okay? So what I'm looking for here is the fifth note of the key scale. So think through the scale, play it, grab your instrument and play it. What note is the subdominant in this key? That would be note 4, the fourth note of the scale. If you're in the key of D, you count up from D, starting and count D as 1, go up 4 notes, okay? Some of you are getting confused in that, and it's super simple. Just what's the fourth note of whatever key you're in, that scale. Okay, all the notes in measure 1 are part of what chord? So you have to actually look at the chord, look at all the notes, and all of you guys who are at this point in the class have passed the viola, the alto clef, and the bass clef reading. So you'll have to read bass clef here. What are those 2 notes in bass clef, violins? And then cellos, you have to read treble clef. What note is that? And figure out what all of those notes, if you were to play them all together, it's a chord. What chord is it? Some of the notes are doubled. Ignore the doubled notes. You're just looking for 3 notes, okay? That's a new kind of feel for you guys to like look at piano chords and treble clef and bass clef. And we want to like take all of those, and if we made a big mash and like stacked them all up, what chord would that be? Okay, then number 12, what is the chord on beat 1 of measure 2? So same thing there is when all of those notes sound, they're not all thirds because they're spread out, but you can take those letters and push them together. What chord is that? And maybe they're not even in order. Maybe it's like G and D and B, okay? That's G, D, and B is a G chord out of order. So you have to kind of take the notes and put them in an order so that you can, hold on. So let me go over this real quick. So let's say I have a G up here, and then we'll say an E here and a C here. Well, E, C, G is not a triad, okay? So let's see, if I put G on the bottom, G, E, C, is that a triad? No, because G up to E is a sixth. Okay, what if I put C, E, G? Third, third. Oh, this is a C chord. Okay, it's just all of the notes got scrambled. So in this piece, these notes are scrambled. Unscramble them to find out what chord it is by making it third, third, third. Okay, so the ones that I circled here, they're scrambled chords. Okay, and you have to write the letters by it is the best way to do it. And then sit there and go, okay, how can I arrange these letters so that they're all skips? Okay, because GEC is not skips, ECG is not skips, only CEG. So you just have to keep like twisting them around and putting them in a different order until you figure out how to make them all thirds. Okay, so that's question 12. Look at those notes that I have circled, and then I ask you a question about it. The lowest sounding note of measure 2, beat 1, is a D, right? I'm going to give you that answer right there. The lowest sounding note, that's the note on the bottom. The lowest sounding note of measure 2 on beat 1 is a D. In a B flat major chord, what position does the D take? Is it the root, the third, or the fifth? So if we've got a B flat major chord, do you remember what we call the bottom note? It's tonic, right? Or root. Then the third and then the fifth. So the D takes on the position of the, I'm giving it to you right here, third, okay? B flat, the note B flat, is it the dominant or subdominant in the key of E flat? Okay, circle the answer. In measure 19, what chords do these notes make? So unscramble them, write all of the letters, and figure out what chord that is, okay? If you have 2 of the same letter, you can erase one. Only count one of those, there's 2 A flats on that chord, or yeah, 2 A flats. Only use 1 A flat so that you can unscramble them to make them all thirds. So that way then you have your triad, okay? In A flat, number 15, A flat, is it the dominant or the subdominant in the key of E flat? So in the key of E flat, is A flat the subdominant or the dominant? And then what is the lowest sounding note in the last measure? So look in the bass clef, the lowest sounding pitch, the bottom pitch. What is that? And then this note, is it tonic, dominant, or subdominant in the key of E flat? Circle your answer. Okay? I know that this is kind of feels a little weird because it's piano music, but this is one of those things where you kind of take all that you know and we're looking at it and trying to learn about this piece based on the theory that we have been working on. So have a great week. I'll see you guys next week.